Today we are covering ABCs, and we are jumping right into our replay with our friend Reynard. If you didn't know, they actually won last week's Roarkallos Championship Series. We did open full combo, and most importantly, they do not have any interruptions on our turn. So let's see what the best board we can build. In our main phase, we open with Union Hanger, and we add B Buster Drake. Normal summon it. Union Hanger equips Union Driver. We do this because now we can activate Union Driver's effect to banish itself and equip a suitable monster to Drake. So we equip Crush Wyvern and then we use its effect to summon itself. And we do it this way because if we simply equip Wyvern off of Union Hanger, we cannot special summon Wyvern this turn. But now this gives us two bodies to play with, and we also have our Revolution Synchron in hand already. So we use Revolution Synchron in hand to synchro with Buster Drake to summon Ancient Fairy Dragon. B Buster Drake, when it leaves the field, gets to add any Union monster from our deck to our hand. And again, this is not once per turn, it's very similar to Super Heavy Samurai Soul Piercer. So we just add another Buster Drake to our hand. Ancient Fairy Dragon summons Buster Drake. But keep in mind, when you do this, you no longer have access to your battle phase. And Ancient Fairy Dragon has another effect. If there are any field spells on the field, we can pop all the field spells on our field, gain 1000 life points, and then search out another field spell with a different name. So here we add the Therion Disc Colosseum. This will let us add Regulus to our hand. Regulus equips Buster Drake from our grave to summon itself. And now this gives us one Omni Negate. It is a bit late, so if they did have Nibiru, our board would have been wiped, but since they had nothing, again, we'll just keep playing. And since Buster Drake wasn't equipped by Union Hanger, we can then use its effect to summon itself, giving us another body. So now we link 2 off into Barricade Board Blocker, which is notably a generic machine that we can just summon with 2 monsters with different names. And now, again, Buster Drake activates its effect to add another Union monster to our hand. This time we get Assault 4. And now we link 2 into Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. This will summon 3 tokens, and Buster Drake will add another, guessed it, Union monster from our deck. So we get another copy of Assault 4. And don't worry, we will be sending these to the grave shortly. So now we use Auroradon's effect to tribute 2 to summon O-Lion from our deck, and then we synchro with O-Lion and one of the tokens. Here we synchro into XL Synchron, and O-Lion summons another token. XL Synchron now sends Jet Synchron from our deck to the grave, and this will also modulate its level, increasing its level by 1, so now we synchro it with another token, getting Synchro 9. And here I go for Wolf Riot. So if you haven't seen this card before, it's not very popular, so what it does is every time a monster effect is activated, it gains 300 attack points, but only while its attack is less than 4000. And then once its attack reaches 4000 or higher, we can then use its quick effect to shuffle both this card and all of our monsters our opponent controls back into our deck. So you can see how this is a very powerful non-destruction removal. And now we summon Revolution Synchron back from our grave by milling the top card of our deck to the grave. And here it also becomes level 1. And so now Wolf Riot gains attack. And then we synchro off our level 1 Revolution Synchron and a token for Cupid Pitch. So Cupid Pitch modulates itself to become level 3, synchros with Ancient Fairy Dragon to make Barone. And now Cupid Pitch does a bit of burn damage, and then we get to add Nemesis Corridor to our hand. Now Nemesis Corridor summons itself by shuffling back one of our banished monsters, and again we did this way in the beginning of our turn when we banished Union Driver from our spell and trap zone. So now we tribute the Corridor, to summon our Thunder Dragon Colossus. And now we activate Jet Synchron in our grave to discard a Assault Core to then summon itself. And now, since we did this, Wolf Riot now becomes 4000, and we get to banish A, B, and C, or A, B, C Dragon. So what do we have on our end board? We end on 1, 2 Omni Negates, a Banish, a Field Wipe, and they cannot search any cards from their deck. And of course, we have the Ash Blossom in hand, along with a Nibiru. In the end phase, Barricade Board Blocker once again adds Union Hanger to our hand because earlier we discarded our Red Reboot. So with their hand, they can't really do much. And of course, they've just drawn the Maxi, which is pretty much a dead card in their hand. They activated Scream, and then we just quickly banish it. I don't want to deal with it. And here they activate Pearl Rhino. This by itself does not do anything because we have Thunder Dragon Colossus preventing them from searching anything. But for some reason, Master Duel gives us the option to use Ash Blossom on Pearl Rhino even though they can't add anything, and me being trigger happy, I of course negate it. And now they summon Snake Eye Ash, sending Pearl Rhino to summon a monster from their deck, but here we just negate it with Regulus. And now they tribute away ABC with Kurikara. They set one card, and here, instead of letting them activate Kurikara in the end phase, I will just get rid of it, get rid of their board, shuffle back Wolf Riot and Kurikara back to our decks. And we drew another Ash for their Maxi. We just pop that one card back there. They target Revolution Synchron. I don't really care. Here we activate Union Hanger again to add Crush Wyvern. Now they use Maxi, and I just negated with Ash Blossom. We just wanted to see what they would draw on their turn, so we just gave them, a bit of a homie drop. So we'll just fast forward to the end. I don't really think there's any one card thing that they can use to win the game back, especially when our Baronne just trades 1 for 1 with it. And here we just move our stuff to attack position and attack for game. So you can see this deck is okay when you get to go full combo and our opponent has nothing to interrupt us on our first turn. I really tried my best to make this deck work. This deck just needs way too many cards in your opener and need your opponent not to have anything to disrupt your plays. That's the reason why I am playing the Gamma package, but then you might draw additional bricks where we already have several in our deck. So if you don't want to, you could just remove the Gamma package. I was playing 3 Drolls, but depending on what you play against, it might not be as good, especially if you're playing against Snake Eyes. Probably just cut this down to 1 or 2. We play Jet Synchron and the O-Lion for our Auroradon package. We play the Maxis, the Ash Blossoms. I play Revolution Synchron and Tuning because this will let us go into our Ancient Fairy Dragon very easily. The Strudo and Dragon's Ravine kind of do the same thing, but opening with Dragon's Ravine is not that bad because we can then use Ancient Fairy Dragon to pop Dragon's Ravine to search out Union Hanger for sure, and then we can go forward with our combos. The downside of using Tuning is once we add Revolution Synchron to our hand, we might just get drolled and our plays would be Buster Drake, adding more cards to our hand will be prevented. Nemesis Corridor is pretty much used to add back Union Driver after we banished it back to our deck. Regulus is just an Omni-Negate that we can use once we have a machine monster in the grave. And again, we can use this Colosseum to search it out if we already had access to Union Hanger with Ancient Fairy Dragon. Nibiru is just good to have in this format. Triple Tactics Talent will get us that extra 2 cards or remove 1 card from our opponent's hand. We played the Called By, and of course a Crossout Designator. Depending on what you play against, you can add or cut the red reboots. Our extra deck, we have 2 ABC Dragons, 1 Colossus, 1 Cupid Pitch that we can search out the corridor to summon the Colossus, Excel Synchron, Ancient Fairy Dragon. We have Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon in this deck because if we use Revolution Synchron to summon Ancient Fairy Dragon, Revolution Synchron can summon itself from the grave, becoming level 1, and 1 plus 7 equals 8. So we get another monster negate. Borreload Savage Dragon is another option for our level 8 Synchro. In the duel, we covered Wolf Riot, Baron de Fleur, Platinum Gadget, IP Masquerena, Barricade Board Blocker, which helps us send cards that are stuck in our hand to the grave, Auroradon, and we also have Appaloosa. To do well with this deck, you need to open at least like a 1.5 card combo, but then if you get interrupted, then it's kind of game over. So let me know what you think of this deck. This deck is just very clunky and you need several different parts of a deck to come together to even go full combo. Even when going first, if we don't open enough combo starters, we will probably just set one and pass our turn. It seems kind of bad to commit this many URs to a deck that you'll probably win 33% of the time, and that's being generous. So I hope this helped you make a decision on whether to try this deck or not. And as always, thank you for watching.